Giovanna. I have a really cool story to share.
Okay, shoot.
So scientists started using this new therapy to help cancer patients. Basically, they use a 3D printer to print a replica of the patient's tumor and test it out the treatment before they actually treat the patient. It's just so amazing, I have goosebumps.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down there, buddy. I heard something about using a 3D printer to help people with cancer, but before we talk about that, let's back up. I definitely heard of cancer, and I know it's not a good thing, but honestly, I don't really know much about it or how people get it. Do you know much about it?
A bit, but luckily, I know just the guy who does. Let's now head to Trenton for some next-gen science.
Hey everybody, Trenton here for an informative edition of Next Gen Science. Today, we're talking about cancer. Unfortunately, we've all probably heard of cancer before. It's something that touches the lives of so many families. In fact, the National Cancer Institute found that approximately 39.5% of men and women will have cancer during their lifetimes. That's about 4 in 10 people, meaning if you get a group of 10 people together in a room, chances are 4 of those people will get cancer some point during their lifetime. Now, that sounds really bad, and it is. But based on data from 2011 to 2017, approximately 67.7%, or about 2/3 of people that got diagnosed with cancer, survived. I realize I'm throwing a lot of data at you, so let's back up a bit. What is cancer and how does it happen? We all have cells in our body. There are over 200 different types of cells, including blood cells, skin cells, and bone cells, just to name a few. The average person has 300 million cells at a single time. And in the nucleus, or center of every cell, there is DNA. This DNA contains genes that control the actions of the cell, and these cells get regenerated or replaced all the time. For example, have you ever gotten a cut, scrape, or a scab? Well, if you're like me, probably many times. When that happens, does your skin stay cut or scraped forever? No, right? Eventually it heals. Well, during that healing process, your body is making more skin cells to replace the damaged ones. This is not just happening to your skin, but a normal process that happens all over the body. But what happens when the cells aren't regenerating normally? Well, that is when cancer can happen. Let's take a closer look. Cancer can occur when there is a genetic mutation or damage to DNA within the nucleus of a cell. Then, that damaged DNA regenerates and copies itself, creating more and more cancerous cells. When these cells lump together, creating a mass, is what we call a tumor. Some tumors are benign, which are not cancerous, but others are called malignant. These are the cancerous ones. Malignant tumors are dangerous because they can grow quickly, take over and destroy nearby cells, and then spread throughout the body. Kind of like a deadly snowball that keeps getting bigger and bigger, picking up more snow or taking over cells as it rolls down the hill. There are many different types of cancer, and they are named based on the cells they affect. For example, lung cancer is when cancerous cells take over lung cells. Brain cancer happens when cancerous cells take over brain cells. And leukemia is cancer of the blood cells. Unfortunately, because malignant tumors can spread, cancer too can spread to other parts of the body. This is one of the reasons why cancer can be so difficult to treat. But more than that, cancer is so hard to treat because everyone's cancer cells are different, just like everyone's DNA or genetic makeup is different. Furthermore, not every cancer cell in a tumor will have the exact same genetic mutation as a neighboring cell, which means treatment may kill one type of cell, but not all the cells, which then can regrow. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Cancer's scary. But that's why this new cancer treatment Oscar mentioned is so cool. It basically will allow scientists to test out treatments on tumors specific to the patient's DNA to better get rid of them. I'll let Oscar tell you more about it.
Wow, thanks, Trenton. You went full science nerd on us, and I learned a lot about cancer.
Yeah, you really explained how cancer starts and can unfortunately become a malignant tumor. But now, let's see how a group of researchers from Tel Aviv University in Israel have come up with an innovative way to fight these tumors.
One thing that we identified was that the models are incorrect. The models we are using for decades are of only cancer cells on a petri dish that is made of rigid plastic that doesn't have any resemblance to the brain of the patient or of people in general. We added other cell types that are the environment of the brain, those resident cells in the brain, like immune cells and other cells that usually sit in the brain, and blood vessels, functional blood vessels that we can flow through them, drugs and immune cells, red and white blood cells of the same patient.
Whoa, so it's kind of like the stage of the engineering process where you're testing your prototype.
Exactly, except the prototypes here are the different treatment options. One of the lead scientists on the project says they have about 2 weeks to test all the different prototypes or therapies on the 3D printed tumor. When a treatment causes the replica tumor to shrink, they know it's the best fit for the real tumor.
Wow, you were right, Oscar. This is really cool. I hope this innovative therapy can help in the fight against cancer.
Same.